Hello, internets. Oh, I see someone's making their own video with my iPad. Oh no. Anyway, so today I'm going to make, I have some frozen chicken that I got from Aldi's, a couple bags of that. I had a big bag of broccoli from Costco. And then I pretty much had everything else to make this recipe, and I don't know, it just came in my head. It's wonderful when things kind of just come together like that. My friend made this recipe for me years ago, and I absolutely loved it. I remember thinking she was like phenom cook of the year for making it. And it was delicious, and she made a huge batch so she could give some to her family later. So I decided to make it as well, and I did some modifications in it based off of the flavor when I first had it. So come along with me and try the recipe. I hope you like it as much as I did. Still do. All right, so I'm going to start off by saying that I did double my recipe. So I think it's one of the, like a 13x9 casserole. And so I used 3 cups of chicken, cubed chicken or chopped chicken. What I did is, like I said, I had some Aldi's chicken thighs, and so I went ahead and cooked those up, and then I'm chopping them up into kind of bite-size-ish pieces, and I'm putting it on top of the broccoli in the dish. So the chicken's cooked, the broccoli is not cooked. The broccoli is just raw broccoli. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I had a couple that were left over, so I was able to save those for another meal. Perfect. So here's where I'm going to stray a little bit from the recipe. The recipe calls for 1 can of cream of broccoli soup and then a 1/3 cup of milk. But I'm going to go ahead and sub that out for a little kind of gravy that I'm just going to make myself. I don't have a cream of broccoli soup, but I'm also not the hugest fan of the cream of soups. I use them sometimes, but they just kind of all taste the same to me, and they've got a lot of stuff in them, some of which Frank can't always eat, but they also give me heartburn. So you can kind of skip over this part if you use that. Otherwise, that's what I'm doing here. I added the little extra bouillon at the beginning because I didn't have enough stock from my chicken to put in here, but if you have enough chicken stock, you can just omit the bouillon. So here's where things maybe start getting a little dicey, or maybe they have been a little bit dicey because I'm making the sauce here. As you can see, it started to thicken up a little bit, and then I went and added about 1.5 cups of milk. I did not really measure here, so I am trying to give you the best idea of what I did. I'm putting in some, I can never pronounce it, the Worcestershire sauce in here too. But the main thing that I think that I'm doing that gives it a flavor, like if you're just going to go ahead and use the cream of broccoli soup or cream of chicken soup or whatever cream of soup that you have, the flavor that I really liked that I thought brought this dish to a different level is to add just about a tablespoons, so that's doubled. So add about a teaspoon and a half of curry powder. So a little more or less to your liking. I did about a tablespoon for a double batch, and I wish I would have added just a little bit more. And I think that just kind of gives a different layer of flavor to it and just makes it so yummy. And then you just basically mix, mix, mix until it starts to thicken a little bit. And here I added a little bit of black pepper for a little more flavor. But it doesn't get super thick, it just thickens up a little bit, just enough to be like a cream of soup. And then finally, you're going to take that and pour it over all of the chicken and broccoli that you've put in the pan. So again, if you were just making this with a cream of soup, I would mix the soup and the milk and then the curry powder. And that's really the end of the recipe except for the topping here. And I'm just finishing it off with cheese. I'm not doing the breadcrumb topping. I just wanted a cheesy topping, but I will just leave the, it's 1 tablespoon of melted butter and 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. You just sprinkle that on top. But I didn't do it. I just left it cheesy. And then here is a shot of the recipe. So you can go ahead and screenshot it. But like I said, I will put the recipe down in the description box. I kind of just, went rogue with the sauce, so hopefully that works for you the way I described it. Here it is out of the oven and bubbling. It smells so good, you guys. So good. And it's so easy, so quick to make. Very yummy. So you can put this over rice. We like to have it over, I had mashed potatoes, and so we just had it over the mashed potatoes. Yum, yum, yum. And I will tell you, this is one of those recipes that absolutely tastes better the next day and even the next day. One more thing you could add to it if you like them is mushrooms. That gives it a whole nother flavor level, but this is a super versatile dish. Like I said, make it ahead of time, pop it in the oven, make it like a lasagna, do whatever you want. But I hope you enjoyed the recipe as much as I did. Peace be with you.